be on Facebook Live. So if you ever want to go back and view any portion of this, you can go to the WNPJ Facebook page and watch it again. I hope it's that good. We're going to start off tonight's live.
Hold on, Tim.
Take your time.
Should more of us
Just almost there.
video, a stop video or not?
Okay, I think that we are there now.
We're going live.
Judy, you're monitoring the Facebook. Is it started?
There's usually a little delay.
Oh, right. So
Give us the thumbs up, Judy, when you see us on your Facebook screen.
okay.
We're high tech here at.
All right.
All right.
Great.
Welcome everyone out there in Facebook land and all of our friends here in the virtual 30th anniversary celebration of the Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice. We're so glad you're here. We've got a great show that we want to share with you tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow with our Spring Assembly Steering Committee meeting at 1:30. So if you find at the end of this night that you haven't gotten enough of us, come back tomorrow at 1:30 for a couple of hours. There's going to be some great conversation and more sharing from our member groups, as well as two special singing bowl performances by one of our newest members out of Milwaukee, Camille Mays, whose group, the Peace Garden Project MKE, has just joined our network. So let's start with a little welcoming song from one of our biggest supporters in northern Wisconsin, up on the Stockbridge Muncie Reservation. Mr. Skip Jones is going to play the song "My Name is Freedom" by Jerry Rao. And Vicki, you can share your screen at any time.
Yep. Hold on.
While Vicki's sharing her screen, I'll just remind everybody that this is also a fundraiser. Now think about when you go out on a Saturday night.
I'm sharing the screen now. Can you guys all hear and see?
Go, okay. Can
Also-
everyone see it? Because I can't. Oh, there we go. I see it now. My other screen was in front of it.
Okay, I'm starting it over.
Please mute yourselves.
I'm wild and reckless. I can't be stopped. I'm not the wind. I know no boundaries. I can't be chained up. No, you can't see me. I live within. I have a sister. Her name is Courage. She's strong as granite, with nerves of steel, and she likes bright colors. She's fond of scarlet. She will not flinch. Oh, she will not yield. We have a father. His name is Justice, and we have a mother. Why, her name is Truth. When we're together, we take down tyrants, and we take on demons, all the biggest first. And we helped Gandhi to free his people. Nelson Mandela, we did the same. And in Eastern Europe, we helped Walesa and the Iron Curtain. Oh, it fell like rain. We love the spirit, loathe the darkness, bring the light now for all to see. And if you need us, we can be summoned. Just listen closely to what I say. Give up your pride now, and we'll come running. Give up your greed, and we will fly. Let go of envy, and you will find us. Let go of fear, you're at my side. My Freedom by Jerry Rao, Minnesota minstrel.
Woohoo! Let's give Skip Jones a big hand. All right. Well, Skip Jones is somebody that I met because of my involvement with Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice. And I reached out to Skip and have asked him to bring his talent to a number of things, and he's always said yes. And so, Skip, I don't know if you're listening on Facebook or if you'll see the recording sometime, but I know you don't have great internet up there on the Stockbridge-Muncie reservation, but we really appreciate you starting off this historic night with such a beautiful song. My Name is Freedom by Jerry Rao. So Vicky's going to put a link in the chat. I want to just stress that this is a fundraiser. Consider what you'd spend to go hear good music and have fun with friends on a Saturday night. And consider how much you value peace and freedom and justice. And consider making a small donation tonight. We don't want anybody to hurt themselves. These are hard times, but we all give 5, 10, 15, 20,000, whatever money you can afford. The network is in an exciting time right now. We realize that we don't have any time to waste. And we've just hired one of the most amazing liberation leaders that I've met. And I'm not exaggerating. You're going to see some great things out of this person. So let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah's been engaged in racial justice work in Madison with groundwork, with Families for Justice, and probably a number of other groups that I don't even know about. But I've had the pleasure of bumping into her and working together on some racial justice stuff. And I've been so impressed and so pleased with her. She considers herself a student in this work of ending racism. And when I saw that she was one of the applicants, I was just like, oh my God, I hope. I wasn't on the hiring committee. I had nothing to do with it. I won't take credit for it, but I was hoping they would pick her, and it was unanimous. It was unanimous, and so far she's hitting the ground running. And so please, let's keep Sarah employed. She's got an 11-year-old son and he needs to eat. So it's really important. You know how those 11-year-olds need food? Keep Sarah going, because WNPJ is committed to being not only the network for peace and justice and sustainability, but we are committing ourselves this year to, like the rest of the world, it's time to be anti-racist in everything we do, everything we eat, everything we breathe. Racism has gone on long enough, and you're going to see the face of WNPJ change, and Sarah's going to be a big part of that. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our newest member of the team, Sarah Hinckley.
Thank you so much, Tim. I'm so excited to see all you. I've heard some of your names, and I love being able to see faces with everyone. So I look forward to working with you all in the future. I am going to do a land acknowledgement now, and I want to express my appreciation for Mary Kay. She helped me in the guidance of the preparation for this statement, so I really appreciate that a lot. As we gather today, we honor the 12 sovereign nations that now reside with us within the boundaries of Wisconsin. Some of these nations have lived in Wisconsin long before European settlement. Others have been forced by Eastern settlers to leave their lands and settle in Wisconsin. None are now able to occupy all the lands that first meant home for them here. Most have lost access to homes, sacred sites, hunting and fishing sites, wild rice stands, and or medicinal foraging sites. This theft happened and continues by forced treaties, broken promises, allotment policies, termination, mass incarceration, police violence, environmental degradation, voter suppression, etc. We know that each of us is now living on land that is originally Indigenous land. But we ask, how can we connect better? What exactly can we do to work for more peace and justice with our Native Nation neighbors? Listening first is what our Native nations want. Each year, the Native nations formally ask for cooperation and joint problem solving through a public State of the Tribes address at the Capitol. In 2020, the message was to strengthen state tribal cooperation in healing the horrific opioid epidemic, improving high school graduation rates, expanding broadband, and paying attention to missing and murdered Indigenous women. The featured concern was repeated twice: respect all living things by increased protection of air, water, and soil. Take climate action. The 2021 address is coming up on the 11th of May. Recently, the chair of the Oneida Nation testified before the People's Map Commission in support of an independent redistricting process with strong consideration for Native American communities of interest, both on reservations and in urban populations. The advocacy of WNPJ and its member organizations in the state budget, Fair Maps Coalition, and community organizing coincides well with what the Native nations of Wisconsin are requesting of us. They are telling us there is a lot more to do, but we are with you. May we move forward with gratitude and solidarity.
Thank you, Sarah. I had a hard time finding my mute button. That, and Mary Kay, thank you. That is absolutely one of the most moving and comprehensive land acknowledgements I've ever heard. And I know, Mary Kay, you put your beautiful advocacy hat on and wrote that with Sarah, and thank you.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lofgren.
All right. Well,
Hello.
Sarah, thank you
I'm
for,
Deborah Lofgren.
someone's on the phone, so please
Sorry,
mute
that was-
yourself. Thank you. Next, I'm going to introduce our MC for tonight. But before I do that, actually, first, I just want to say a little unplanned part of tonight. I want to acknowledge someone who's not on the board, and she's currently not paid staff. And she's been just a tireless volunteer that has been at the center of everything that has to do.
You might have to turn off your video, Tim.
Transforming WNPJ organization. I want to just express my thanks to Vicki Berenson, who has, I can't even imagine how many hours she's put into making sure that we got to this place. But Vicki, you deserve a big round of applause and a standing ovation from all of us. And I know the board loves working with you. And I know that our new staff person is going to love you passing off your volunteer roles to a paid staff. And you're gonna stick with us and be one of our leading volunteers. And I also want to acknowledge your faithful sidekick who came back from Portland, and it was still really bringing the spirit of WNPJ. 20 years of work. Have you been with him for 20 years, Judy? Anyways, Judy Miner and Vicki have been doing just a tremendous job bringing this organization back to life. So thank you both. All right, and now our MC for tonight, one of the newest board members, but certainly not one of the quietest. And by that, I say that in the most loving and appreciative way. I met Miss Tynetta Jackson at a Get Out the Vote rally that I weaseled my way into with the Unity Mobile. And Tynetta was just so powerful in leading this event, organizing it. It was a seniors, what did you call it? Well, it was a Get Out the Vote, and it was anyways, they made a safe event with folding chairs lining the streets on the corner of MLK and Martin and North Avenue in the heart of Milwaukee's district, right there by the Trump office. Can you believe that Trump had an office at the corner of MLK and North Avenue? Well, Tynetta organized a beautiful Get Out the Vote rally there that had all kinds of communities, churches, and people showed up lining the streets. And I asked her if I could bring the Unity Mobile, which we then called the Vote Mobile. And Tynetta said, yeah, of course. And then she invited me up to speak. I guess she didn't know that I might just not ever stop. Anyway, sorry, Vicki. But when I heard Tynetta speak and the way she led that, I just realized that this was somebody that I wanted to work with. And so I set out to be her friend, and we've become really good friends. And she was happy to join the board because she too believes that we need to go after peace and justice and sustainability and democracy in a statewide way. Tynetta has been working in Milwaukee with a group called Souls. She's actually the co-founder and the current director of Souls. That's Solomon's Outreach Urban Learning Sessions, or Outreach and Urban Learning Sessions. And they host monthly virtual cafes. She's worked with the police and the fire departments. She's put on medical fairs and job fairs. She's currently working with the school, the Milwaukee School Medical College, or the Medical College of Wisconsin, excuse me. At any rate, you'll hear a lot more from Tynetta because she's our MC for tonight. Tynetta, thanks for doing this. I get to take a break the rest of the night.
Thank you, Tim. Tim really makes you feel good, right? He really, really makes you feel good. And he gave me all these accolades, and I thank him for that. I don't know if they're deserving, but I thank you for that, Tim. Actually, me and Tim met at it was a Black Lives Matter march. And the seniors and people in our community were calling me and say, hey, we're not marching in COVID, but we agree with what they're doing. What can you do? What can we put together? And so I organized a Black Lives Matter sit-in, and we came out with our lawn chairs and sat 6 feet apart. And I tell you, it was over 200 people there. We had police officers that came and supported. We had all the news and everyone there, and it was so wonderful. People came in from all over, and I was so excited to meet him. So I'm grateful and thankful for the opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity to meet all of you, and let's proceed. And I just want to say, how is everyone doing? A little check. How is everyone doing tonight? All right. We're feeling good. Now, this is we're supposed to be dining and sharing and eating. So we want to make sure we're all comfortable, and because we're going to enjoy this night, and we're going to enjoy what we're going, and we're going to give. We're going to give also. But I am so excited. I've heard so much about this group from our fellow members, and I've been excited coming up to this event. I've been waiting to hear from this group, the Raging Grannies of Madison. They began their project in Madison. They have a Madison chapter, Wisconsin International League for Peace and Freedom, first singing to crowds of anti-war protesters in the fall of 2003, and still carrying on. I tell you, I'm so excited to see them, to see what they're doing. I want a hat. I just want to say, I want a hat. And we're ready for Vicky to go ahead and play this video. All of us are excited.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lofgren.
And we are the Raging Grannies of Madison, Wisconsin. We are the raging grannies. We don't hide in nooks and crannies. We stand up for peace and justice, even when the police bust us. Join with the raging grannies. Time to get up off your fannies. The world needs folks to take a stand, and that's why we are Grannies.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lofgren.
And
I got another one coming. Just
Thank
hold
you.
on.
I tell you, I really like this video. They said we're not sitting on our fannies, so I really like that.
it's not easy being black. Always have to watch your back. Judged by color wherever you go. Why does justice come so slow? Get on board with Black Lives Matter. Time for more than idle chatter. Time for us to come together and get on board with Black Lives Matter. nation start to balance the equation. Get on board with Black Lives Matter. Time for more than idle chatter. Time for us to come together. Get on board with Black Lives Matter. Time for radical transformation, economic justice, reparations, community control, and political power. Come on, people, this is the hour. Get on board with Black Lives Matter. Time for more than idle chatter. Time for us to come together. Get on board with Black Lives Matter. Time for all to come together. We all know that Black Lives Matter.
All right, so who write the lyrics for the Raging Grannies? I love them. They are awesome. Let's give them a hand. Let's give them another hand. I love it.
Can I just say, you can get a copy of this video by going on our website, Madison Raging Grannies. But what we were invited last December to do an audition video for the singing at the Democratic National Convention, but it didn't turn out, of course. But we really are very much feeling like people do need to stand up for peace and justice. And that's why I'm so proud to be a member, long-term member of the network. And I just want to put in a pitch, and maybe you want to, I'm a sustaining member, and I'm going to do at least an extra $30 for, this is the 30th anniversary, and I may even double that. But I think it's important that we all work together. And I think singing is a good way of doing that. So I'm so glad that the Grannies are also a member organization of WNPJS. Thanks.
Well, we know that music brings everyone together. That's a universal language for everyone. And I am just pleased and felt honored to hear that, and to hear that you're still supporting the network. And I hope that we can get Raging Grannies chapter in Milwaukee. That would be awesome. Maybe somebody will join in with me.
There are a few people that are working on that in Milwaukee.
Oh, I love that.
We always
I
say
love
we
that.
have songs will travel.
That is
we have over
wonderful.
150 songs. So,
and who writes those songs?
we have 3 or 4 members that do most of the lyrics, but there's also there's actually an international. It's an international disorganization, is what we call ourselves, and there's an e-bind, and several very prolific grannies do songs, and we can all use each other's songs as long as we give credit, and then we revise them too. So we tend to redo songs depending on what's going on in the world. So it's great fun. You can all
I
join.
love it.
You don't have to even be a grandmother.
Oh, you don't? Well, I will definitely.
Yeah, it's older women. We sort
Okay.
of upend the stereotype about how we're quiet and meek and mild. So
That's right. Your job is never done.
Right.
I love it. I mean, no one's job. And I tell my mother that, Mom, just because you're 77 and 76 years old, your job is not done. You still have a lot to offer. So thank you, Ms. Block, for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, Deborah Gillespie, she's from Mothers Against Gun Violence, and she sits on our board, and she has a couple of some insights on peace and justice as well, anti-violence.
Thank you, Tynetta, and good evening, everyone, and happy 30th WNPJ. My name, as she said, is Deborah Gillespie, and I'm the founder of Mothers Against Gun Violence. And I am so excited to announce Governor Evers' plans for the 2021-2023 biennial Wisconsin budget proposal. And these are 3 life-saving plans for Wisconsinites. The first one is Funding Violence Intervention Grant Program, devising an extreme risk protection, injunction procedure and require background checks for all firearm sales. This means that our work has just begun. We need to reach out to our legislators and to those who are on the finance committee. How can we do that? We can meet at one of the stops for the Just Budget bus tour. That would be an excellent way. Or you can call, tweet, email your legislator and the members of the Joint Finance Committee. Gun violence is a communal health issue, and we can make a difference if we all act. Thank you so much. And back to you, Tynetta Jackson.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, I just want to say I'm watching this on live stream on Facebook, and it seems like it's only a couple of people. So we really want to let people know that's watching us live on Facebook how many people. So if your camera is off, they can't tell that we have the crowd that we do have here. So if you can, if you will, come live on camera so they can see how many people support the Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice. So if you have the ability and you can't come on live, I know some people may not, but if you can on Facebook, it just looks better to see how many people are supporting this 30th anniversary. So I thank you for coming back on live. Did we get Stephanie Mallory? Did she ever come in? Did Stephanie Mallory come in? Okay,
No.
That's okay if she hasn't came in, because we're gonna keep going. We're excited. This is exciting. And we're gonna keep moving. We do have Sister Maureen McDonald, and she will share some words with us about Pax Christi and the Interfaith Peace Working Group.
If she's on Facebook, then that's fine, but I don't see her here on Zoom.
Okay, can we just play, do you have a video?
Nope.
For her? You don't? Okay, all right, that's fine. We'll keep going with No More Pipeline Blues.
Let's see. Actually, okay. Okay, yeah, this is a song by Larry Long, who is a Wisconsin singer-songwriter living in Western Wisconsin. And he wrote this song, and it's performed here by Bonnie Raitt and the Indigo Girls. So if you'll just
And also some of the women who are standing in opposition to line 3.
That's a great
If you're
video.
finding that you are losing distance,
I'm not going to share it until I get
Oh!
past the ad, though. Hold on.
We just want Facebook Live to know that we do have more people
and you want to watch
on
this
here.
video presentation from Brian Mock. He's going to show you how to add.
Everyone is not able to come live, but we do have more people. And we hope that you show your support with a donation for Wisconsin with the network. And I know that the donation link is shared on Facebook. So please feel free to donate on Facebook Live as well. We appreciate that.
Ninga ishechike nebe onje. Ninga ishechike nebe onje.
This is the same water that was here when dinosaurs were here. There is no new water. This is the only water we will ever know. This is the same water that my great ancestors drank from and harvested our wild rice upon.
On this land where we belong, surrounded by the northern lights. On this land where we belong, beneath the starlit night.
On this land where we belong, wild Monoman grows. Our blood runs red through the watershed of Nimama.
On this land where we belong, rivers, lakes, and streams flow through the heartland of the
this water is sacred. Water is sacred because without water, there is no life. You cannot drink oil.
On this land to which we belong, from the Canadian tar sand, 1 million barrels of oil the day to come through these sacred lands. On this land to which we belong, with oil thicker than crude, 4,000 workers coming our way, got them pandemic pipeline blues.
This moment is that moment where we face that oil. This is the moment where we face line 3 and say, no, you will not take our wiring.
On this land to which we belong, with pipelines that corrode, when they break, it'll be too late. It'll kill this river road. On this land where we belong, don't let that pipeline through. No more drill pads on native land. No more pipeline blues. No more drill pads on public land. No more pipeline blues. No more drill pads on sacred land. No more pipeline blues. No more. Don't let line 3 come through.
You are a story fed by generations. You carry songs of grief, triumph, thankfulness, and joy. Feel their power as they ascend within you. As you walk, run swiftly, even fly into infinite possibility. Let go that which burdens you. Let go any acts of unkindness or brutality. Let go that which has burdened your family, your community, your nation, or disturbed your soul. Let go one breath into another. Pray thankfulness for this earth we are, for this becoming we are, for this sunlight touching skin we are, for the cooling waters we are. Listen now as earth sheds her skin. Listen as the generations move one against the other to make power. We are bringing in a new story. We will be accompanied by ancient and new songs, and will celebrate together.
Nebe, gizage igu, gimi guachawenemigu, gijawenemigu. Nebe, gizage igu, gimi guachawenemigu, gijawenemigu.
I don't know if anyone was touched like I was touched. I mean, this is a very, very powerful video. It brings tears to my eyes to think that more and more of their land has been taken for those fossil fuel and just everything corroding their water system. And we take those things for granted, and we need to continue to fight with them and stand with them, as if we would want anyone to stand with anything that affects any community. So thank you for that video. That was very powerful, and I think everyone agrees with that. Thank you. We will have Mark Foreman. He's going to come on and talk about Veterans for Peace and what he's been up to. And maybe Mark Spears is online as well. But if not, Mark Foreman.
Everybody else should mute.
I
Can I
don't
just-
see Mark.
I want to say, as we got a lot to cover tonight, so we are going to time and ask people to try to stick to 2 minutes. So at 2 minutes, I might break in and let you know you've had 2 minutes, and then you need to wrap up soon. Thank you.
So I don't see Mark Foreman on, but I do know that we have,
What do we have? Greetings from the Cody from?
yeah, that's
No.
video, but you know what? We have Steve Wattress here. Who
Okay.
Sure. How about if we hear from Steve?
I was just about to write my speech.
All right.
I'm Steve Watrous. I live in Milwaukee. I'm the president of the United Nations chapter of Greater Milwaukee, and that takes the majority of my political time. We do the best monthly global issues speaker series of anybody in Milwaukee, at least. And we've had people, some that you might know, like John Nichols, Senator LaTanya Johnson was on. We've just had a bunch of wonderful speakers. They're open to the public. They always were free. And now through the wonders of Zoom, all of you could, if you wished, tune in or get on our email list. So be sure to let me know on that. I'll put my email address in the chat. As I said earlier, I've been sort of on and off with WNPJ since about 1992. But I was thinking over those years, sometimes I've been representing Central America work, and then sometimes fair trade work, and then sometimes peace work, and as far as my organizational affiliation, and now it's with the UNA. If you're in Milwaukee, we'd like to talk to you and invite you to our activities, and to the rest of you, like I say, you can tune in. Our next one will be, in fact, about issues concerning Native Americans, and Pam maybe can give a plug for that when she has her chance. Thanks.
Well, if I can give a plug, it's going to be Challenges of Today's Native Nations. And it's going to be May the 8th at 10 a.m. and it's on Zoom. And I'll be putting the Zoom link on the website for Peace Action Wisconsin, peaceactionwisconsin.org, or if you put your email in the chat, we can send it to you from the United Nations Association too. Either way, you'll be able to find it.
Thank you for those updates. We really appreciate it. And that gives us an opportunity to all come in and join and support each other. So that's the great thing about the network, is that we're able to put each other's events on there and able to support one another. And if I can't be there this time, maybe I can be there next time. So that's the great thing about being a member of the network, is to be there to support each other in the efforts that we're doing to make sure that we have peace, justice, and sustainability in the world. So thank you for that information. And I'll definitely add my email to that as well. So I think Mike Miles is not online, is he?
Oh, he is.
Oh, is Mike Miles online? Okay. Yes. Maybe he can give us an update from the Anathoth Community Farm, which is a Catholic worker farm based on the study of practice of nonviolence, community, and sustainable living. So we would definitely love to hear an update from you.
Hey, sure, I'll give you an update. It's been I've been around this network here for a long time, probably from the beginning. Anathoth is a Catholic worker farm up here in Luck, Wisconsin. And like for the first 20 years or so that we were doing work up here, it was all about nuclear weapons, stopping nuclear war, stopping war. We kind of worked with Nuke Watch, which is still here on the farm with John LaForge, to do a lot of work at Stop Project ELF. And we finally closed Project ELF down in 2004 and did direct action over in Medford at the Gwen Towers, stopped them. There was the Wheels of Justice bus, did a lot of stuff with the Wheels of Justice, which was, yeah, Bonnie's nodding there, and Judy knows about that. Did a lot of stuff with that. That was a mobile peace center that we had, supporting people who were doing work in Iraq and Israel and Palestine. But for the last 10 years, it's been full on climate change. So I'm doing a lot of regenerative agriculture. I'm working with the Wisconsin Farmers Union and a lot of people who are using agricultural practices to put carbon back in the ground where it came from and where it belongs. So we can, remediate carbon, and feed people at the same time. So it's a little bit different being involved in climate than anti-nuclear stuff. But the way I look at it is nuclear war is not, we're not any safer than we were like years ago. It's actually getting crazier than ever. But nuclear war right now, for me personally, is something that may or may not happen. It's getting more likely, but the reason I'm focused on climate change is climate is happening no matter what. And we got to solve that one. And, you know, in the meantime, I'm counting on my friends that are doing really good anti-nuclear work to keep that one going. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to be a stick in the mud and try to stop climate change.
I thank you, Mr. Miles, for all the work that you have done in the past. I thank you for the work you've done and the examples you have shown others on how to go about doing that type of work as well. And hats off to all who have been doing this work for over this organization, celebrating 30 years. I'm just so proud to be now a member of this organization and part of the work that you're doing. So thank you all, if I haven't said that already. I thank you again. So we're gonna keep going. We are getting into the hour, and I just wanted to tell you, I met this young lady that at an event, another political event. I'm usually invited to a lot of things across Milwaukee and Madison, and I had the opportunity to be blessed by this woman's beautiful voice. Is she still on here? I thought I seen her. Stephanie, is she still on here? Did she leave? I think Stephanie left. Let's see. She might have had to Jennifer. I mean Jennifer. I said Stephanie, Jennifer. So we're gonna did she come back in? Okay, Jennifer didn't come back in. Okay, so we're gonna move, and I'm gonna check in with her to make sure everything is okay. But we will have Vicki Barrison. She's gonna talk to us about Safe Skies and Clean Water Movement. And if you can come on and talk to us about what you're doing and what's been going on with that movement.
Sure, I'd be glad to. So I've been involved with the Safe Skies Clean Water Wisconsin coalition since about sometime in 2019, when we, a lot of us became aware that the military was planning to station a squadron of F-35 fighter jets in Madison. And I don't know, people who don't live in Madison might not know that the Air National Guard base here is right smack in the middle of a residential area of the city. So the cost to the community would be great in terms of noise and pollution and risk of safety issues. The other part of that is that the Air National Guard base has been used for firefighting training, and they use these foams that contain PFAS. I don't know if you've heard of those, but they've been in the news a lot, that are cancer-causing chemicals. So the groundwater is contaminated with that. There's just a lot of mess at this Air National Guard base, but we definitely don't want these jets coming here. They are equipped to carry nuclear weapons that are especially designed for these jets, and they're unbelievably expensive and have had a lot of issues with production and bugs and stuff like that. And it's been well publicized, but somehow the military just keeps on going. The government keeps on funding it. So we've managed to get a few thousand people, at least, opposing this basing. And despite all of our efforts, which were enormous, the Air Force decided that Madison was a good place to put the jets. So they're taking bids for construction right now, but Safe Skies Clean Water has initiated 2 lawsuits questioning the environmental impact statement that we felt was inadequate, and another lawsuit, an environmental justice complaint. One of the things in the environmental impact statement stated clearly that this project would disproportionately impact people of color, low-income neighborhoods, and children. And it's very clear in there, and for some reason they chose Madison anyway. So, this is not a partisan issue at all. We had Democrats and Republicans, other than a very few brave ones, stand up against the project. Most people were just totally on board with it. That whole glorification of the military and the force and all that kind of stuff. So our lawsuits have been filed and we're waiting to hear about that. So if you want to learn more about it, Safe Skies Clean Water was WI.org, but you can find us on the WNPJ members page if you want to link to our website and learn more about it. And I was thinking that as long as I'm on, why don't I, Tynetta, play Skip Jones's video because he welcomes us.
No, can we hold, because Jennifer has to come and go.
Great. She's here.
Yes, yes. So if we can hold with that. And I can introduce you to Jennifer Stevens. Again, I've had the pleasure of meeting her and hearing her beautiful voice, melodic. I can't even say the word, is so beautiful. But anyway, she's considered a multifaceted and faceted in the arts, a soprano that trained in classical and opera genre nationally and internationally. She is also nationally known classical contemporary composer and artist. Jennifer M. Stevens has been a featured artist, singer, and classical contemporary composer on PBS Wisconsin Public Television in 2 documentaries, Wisconsin Life and Owela.
It's Oneida. It means wind.
I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna let you give us more. And then the music of Jennifer Stevens demonstrating that anyone can strive for their goals and dreams, regardless of their race, gender, origins, and or economic backgrounds. Stevens is a new resident of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, from Green Bay, Wisconsin, striving to start a new life in Milwaukee and continuing her philosophy of community building through the arts. Stevens' life passion is using the arts for education, youth, families, inspiration, and planting seeds to contribute to a better world for future generations. Jennifer is currently working at Providers Help with Dr. Cheryl Meese doing community outreach. Jennifer has an interesting past. She told me about her dad, and the reason I interrupted her, because I wanted her to give a few words herself about her little history. Well, I shouldn't say little history, about her gigantic and enormous history. And has an interesting background I think that we can all appreciate. And if you could give us a few words before you perform, Jennifer.
Sure. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for letting me join in and participate and singing for tonight, and also sharing a little bit about my background. I'm enrolled in Oneida, Wisconsin. My father is from Oneida, Wisconsin. My mother is enrolled at Pine Ridge, South Dakota. So I'm Oneida and Lakota. And my dad worked for the Nixon administration for the Bureau of Indian Affairs. He was the executive director for the Indian Policy Review Commission. And so a lot of the policies that the United States on federal and local, they follow these policies. And so my dad was instrumental in coordinating and developing with 25 attorneys in Washington, D.C. to develop these policies that we utilize that impact Native American people and Americans today.
Thank you. Okay. Well, whenever you're ready, we would look forward to you sharing your talent.
All
Thank you,
right.
Jennifer.
Thank you very much. I'm
Please,
singing-
everyone mute.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna sing the song Sure on the Shining Night by Samuel Barber. He's an American composer and one of my favorites. And the song is basically about finding healing on earth. And I thought that was, I was trying to think of appropriate, I was trying to think of appropriate song for this occasion. And it's basically trying to find peace on earth, you know, with all the things going on in the world, even inside ourselves as individuals, that we're always striving to find peace. So it's a beautiful art song by an American composer, Samuel Barber. And so I'm gonna get my music accompaniment. One moment, please. Sure, this shining night of stormy shadows round, kindness must watch for me beside the ground. Thank you. Thank you very much. I wanted to mention my dad's name is Ernest L. Stevens Sr. He was real prominent in Native American leadership in probably in the 60s, 70s, and up into the 90s. He's in a nursing home now. He just turned 89 years old. So I just wanted to share that with you. I forgot to tell you that, but at any rate, thank you very much.
We appreciate you. Let's give her another hand. She was the only one that was bold enough to come on live for us virtually. So we thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just, we can't thank you enough. We're gonna keep your father in prayer for his longevity. Just the blessing that he instilled all of the activism in you as well. And we thank you for your gifts and talents tonight. Thank you so much. And we appreciate, and hopefully you can stay on a little longer just to see a little bit more about what the network is doing. And someone brought it to my attention, I should know this. If anyone is in are Muslims or in Islamic faith, I know you're breaking fast. I have a lot of Muslims in my family, so we definitely want to recognize Ramadan. So I do apologize that got by me. Again, with that beautiful selection, I think someone said it earlier, that we couldn't pay for better entertainment than that. So this is a great time to donate to WNPJ. And we're gonna put that donate button back out there for our 30th year anniversary. This is a great opportunity to donate. So if there is, did I miss anyone that wanted to speak, that has something to say before we kind of go to our next step? Did anyone want to say anything or have anything to say that I may have missed?
I think Alfred Meyer had something he wanted to share.
Great,
Yes, I
thank
do.
you.
I'm representing Physicians for Social Responsibility this evening. And I just want to say that our organization is working to stop the relicensing of the 2 nuclear power reactors operating on the shores of Lake Michigan. They're harming the lake, they're killing fish, they're at risk of catastrophe, and also they sell electricity to the ratepayers at almost twice the going rate now, and that rate will increase some 2 to 4 more times over the next 10 years. So we're trying to work with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources and the Attorney General's office to get them to stand up for the water rights that Wisconsin has. Meanwhile, we have a suit in the NRC proceedings, but that really is quite a kind of a kangaroo court. Only 100% of these proceedings have succeeded, yet we felt that to be silent and do nothing would be complicit. So we're working on this. We invite you please to join us, that we have an email listserv to get updates on what's going on, and we hope other groups will join us. This is an important issue for Wisconsin. So Physicians for Social Responsibility, Wisconsin. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for those updates. We definitely need to be aware of all that are going on right now. Tracy Dent is not able to come on, but we do want to go ahead, if Vicky is ready, have that video ready. Do you have that video ready, Vicky? And I know I'm putting you on the spot at the last minute. He unfortunately, Tracy Dent is not able. He's doing another video shoot for, but he's a community activist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He does a lot with Stop the Violence and campaigns in Milwaukee. He's tirelessly have worked in that arena. He has a organization, Peace for Change Alliances and Voices Against Violence Coalition, and he does a lot with the community and people who are facing any kind of violence. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and show the video that me and Tim had the opportunity to appear in.
Oh my God. This is Trey D with Voices Against Violence. It's time to put the guns down.
Every day more of the same, man, it's getting rough. But if we really want to change, gotta start with us. We gotta silence all the violence, we done had enough. It's time to put the guns down and lift each other up. Every day more of the same, man, it's getting rough. But if we really want to change, gotta start with us. We gotta silence all this violence, we done had enough. It's time to put the guns down and lift each other up.
I'm so done with black on black crime. Nothing but excuses, man. I gotta do what I gotta do, man. That play a lie. When y'all wake up and all realize, Cuckoo told us back in 99, man, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. All of our life subliminal program. Teach them to steal, kill, destroy. Don't take no mess from no man. When we break the system program, each one teach one. Let's make sure that all of us can grow, man. Life is short, it's time to pay attention. The time is now to break them chains. Change your brain, bro, and make a difference. And yeah, I hear them screaming, YOLO, fool. But just remember, that you only die once too.
Every day more of the same, man, it's getting rough. But if we really want to change, gotta start with us. We gotta silence all the violence, we done had enough. It's time to put the guns down and lift each other up. Every day more of the same, man, it's getting rough. But if we really want to change, gotta start with us. We gotta silence all this violence, we done had enough. It's time I turn around, I see another vigil. Cause somebody off in traffic and they wanna kill you. It's too familiar, all we wanna do is live in peace. So we don't have to see no tears of grief on mama cheeks. I know the feeling all too well cause I was devastated. I got the call about my cousin saying he didn't make it. His killer should've walked away before it escalated. We gotta learn to keep our cool in heated situations. Some people say that make you weak, but they really wrong. Leaving it alone to really show them who is strong. Lord, please help us all to make our city safe again. Oh, any dude that hit a woman really ain't a man. Every day more of the same, man, it's getting rough. But if we really wanna change, gotta start with us. We gotta silence all the violence, we done had enough. It's time to put the guns down and lift each other up. Every day more of the same, man, it's getting rough. But if we really wanna change, gotta start with us. We gotta silence all this violence, we done had enough. It's time to put the guns down and lift each other up.
Yo, wait a minute. Y'all thought we was done? QB, Just Chris, this is Voice Against Violence. Walla, where you at?
You know Guala, power to the people, leaders that we gon' follow. Spread up all of the power of the dollar. Making this Guala holla, bump this in your Impala. Lift you up like a bottle, ride with me, presidents lied to me. Doctors sold out, white oxygen supplied to me. You hear the siren, somebody tell me why we dying. From the semis, then we still gotta fight off the virus. Walking through the streets, you see my fists is raised. They shoot me down and you know how the story stay the same. It don't matter who did it, you know who takes the blame. But you see it now and you know how the story changed. Young cats in too deep, they stuck inside their ways. Forget these politicians, we the ones that pave the way. It's the same game, but you see the stakes been raised. But you know, Guala, I'm just trying to keep our people safe. So why we gotta kill another brother? Speak to me and keep the peace. And what you see is soul to rest inside the street. Now we can beat the beef and show the street the soul of me. But hold it free is what we need, so we defeat. You know we just gotta believe.
Woohoo!
I hope everyone liked the video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It's good for our young people to come out and express that they're not happy with violence in the community as well. I hope you've seen Tim up there holding his sign. And the Unity Mobile was behind. I don't know if anyone caught the Unity building, Unity Mobile in the backdrop as well. So like someone said, it's a collective effort. It's all of us have to stand together on all these issues, all the issues, and all of them collectively affects us all. All of them collectively affects us all. So I'm excited to see what we're gonna do going forward. I'm excited for Sunday. I know that we're refreshed and we're gonna keep things going and pull some more people in and to continue to fight. Is there anything that I missed? Is there anyone that want to make a statement or say anything? Can you raise your hand? Anyone want to say anything? Yes.
Can you hear me, Tynetta?
Yes.
Yes. I know that John Peck from Family Farm Defenders is in the house and maybe want to tell us a little bit about Family Farm Defenders, a longtime member of the network.
Jenna, you can unmute yourself.
It's great to be here tonight. Yeah, I've been involved in the network for quite a while. Yes, hello everybody. I guess what I would like to share is it's so inspiring tonight to hear all these different voices and memories people have about the role of the network in bringing about peace and justice and sustainability across Wisconsin over so many decades. And I guess one message I want to share is that, coming out of this pandemic, I guess we saw how the corporate agribusiness model totally failed our country. And I really would hope that, people, as we move forward, think about, how important it is to relocalize, redemocratize our food system. And, our family farmer members, we have about 500 members across the state. We've been a long time member of the network, and farmers really need your support right now. And I'm hoping people are not just, spend your dollars at the farmers market, but actually support us in terms of policy and, we have a lot of climate change issues happening right now, and there's all sorts of proposals to bring about carbon trading, which would just basically entrench corporate global agribusiness once again, making pollution another commodity. We hope people would think about that critically and not support that. Thinking about our frontline workers, I mean, migrant farm workers are essential to our ag economy in the state. And we could not grow our food without all these folks who have come here to help us make that happen. They're part of our communities. And, I was at the Voces de la Frontera protest the other week about, we need to support our frontline essential workers right now. And those include people who aren't documented necessarily. So I guess I'm hoping the network will continue to support, a food system that's based upon food sovereignty and democracy and, consumer right to know and, local control. And, we just had an amazing victory up in Bayfield this last week where, citizens there, including Dana Chernus, who's a former member of she is a member of the Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice. I mean, she used to be really involved. I mean, she and people in her community organized to fight and stop a water privatization scheme up in Bayfield and near Herbster, which, I mean, this reminds me of when the network was involved in stopping Nestle Perrier from privatizing our water system near Wisconsin Dells. And I get arrested at one of those protests. I was very proud about that, being arrested to stop water privatization in the state. So I'm hoping that we, as we move forward, that we look back at our legacy, take some heart and inspiration from that, and then we have so many new folks involved, which is really inspiring to see all these young folks, new folks that haven't been involved before. And I'm hoping that we can, and I'm really excited to have Sarah involved as our new staff person. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to a new rejuvenated network. So thanks everyone for being on this call tonight. So.
Thank you so much. I think we all thank you for all the work, tireless work you've done over the years as well, John. We really appreciate it. And all the rest, everyone else that's on the call, your work that you're doing every single day. We definitely appreciate it. And just a reminder again, we're gonna put that that donate button in Facebook Live again, and we're gonna make sure that is posted again in the chat. If anyone hasn't donated, you still have time to donate. Go ahead and you can do that now. I think Vicki has a video of the celebration of the video of the network and the work we've done. Is that tonight, Vicki?
Yep, and I'm all ready. It's actually
all ready.
So I'm going to be talking.
And so, oh yeah, she's narrating and talking. So we love her so much. I can't wait to hug her.
No, I haven't been able to do that. I met so many new people and I haven't.
I know. I can't wait to hug her when I see her, to give her my thanks. I am just so you guys know, I hug people. So if it's offensive to you, just let me know and I'll shake your hand. But I'm an affectionate person. I come from a family of 10. It's 10 of us in my family. I have 9 siblings. So we're very affectionate and loving people. So with that being said, Vicki, I'm giving you a virtual hug and you're ready to go.
I'm ready. All right. So welcome. 30 years of networking to make our state and world more peaceful, just, and sustainable. So this is a short slideshow review of these years. WNPJ was founded in 1991 with the mission to advance a sustainable world free from violence and injustice. It began in February of 1991 when more than 300 people from 60 Wisconsin communities flooded into the Capitol chambers in response to a call from Representative Frank Boyle due to the upcoming threat of a Gulf War. And on that day, the ground war in Kuwait began, and we know what's happened since then. But out of that gathering arose the Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice, and it has grown to include issues surrounding peace, human rights, racial justice, and environmental activism across the state. These yard signs that we created spread like wildfire across our state, enabling WNPJ to have the funds to hire staff and open an office by 2001. If we made more yard signs today, what should they say? And you're welcome to put your ideas in the chat because this is something we're thinking about. By 2011, WNPJ had grown to over 150 member groups. We had 3 part-time staff as well as interns and volunteers, all connecting the dots of active nonviolence, alternatives to militarism, and corporate accountability. Here's 20-year members Steve Bronkin and Bonnie Block. Bonnie's with us tonight. And 12 of the 20-year members, so this is 20-year members 10 years ago, and 12 of them had been at the original gathering at the Capitol in 1991, and most are still active with WNPJ, working to make the world a better place. And we do want to take a moment to honor members we have lost recently: Susan Becker, Robert Kimbrough, and Jack Tiffany. Here we see Mary Beth Schlagheck and Will Williams. I thought Mary Beth was going to be with us tonight, but something else must have come up. Mary Beth is one of the people who helped start the weekly vigil on the square, the Capitol Square, which is nearly 40 years old, every week. And every week they pass out flyers, and I've been there too. It's really a great thing to do. We pass out flyers with a different announcement and a different issue. And Will Williams has been awesome working on with Veterans for Peace and working on truth and militarism. And I worked with him for quite a while, trying to keep the military recruiters from having too much impact in the schools. Here's some photos from our archives over the last 30 years, starting with peace vigils. So here's a peace vigil on the square. Some of our member groups here are Ground the Drones, Veterans for Peace, Kickapoo Peace Circle, Peace Action Wisconsin, and Pledge of Resistance. And there are many more. And on the WNPJ website, WNPJ.org, pretty easy to find, you can find a list of our members, and it's really a great resource for finding events and action alerts around the state. Raging Grannies over on the left, Family Farm Defenders up on top, and others have been involved in peace events over the last decade. WNPJ, we hold a space at the popular Saturday Dane County Farmers Market where our groups can display at a table, and hopefully when the pandemic eases, we'll be able to do that again. So if your group is interested, just let us know and we'll reserve you a space. The environmental sustainability part of WNPJ has grown in importance over the last several years as we see how intertwined peace, justice, and climate change are. WNPJ and the Midwest Renewable Energy Association have connected for their annual fair held up in Custer, Wisconsin each June. We've been involved in part of campaigns saying no to nukes and how many lives per gallon, recognizing that we have been led into so many conflicts due to the thirst for oil and also nuclear issues. Several WNPJ member groups show us the way to sustainability. Wisconsin Green Muslims, sorry. There's the Farley Center in Verona, Artha in Amherst, the Anathoth community up in Luck, Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Green Muslims. Here's one of the WNPJ's yard signs we distributed across the state. It actually says, "The answer is blowing in the wind." Member groups have been involved with prison justice. Meg Skinner, who is with us tonight, and friends are shown protesting the injustice at Guantanamo prisons. Some other WNPJ groups working on criminal justice issues include Just Dane, formerly Madison Area Urban Ministry, Wisconsin Books to Prisoners, LGBT Books to Prisoners, Wisdom, and Mary House. WNPJ members joined with allies from Milwaukee to participate in prison reform rallies and demonstrations, with signs on the streets and action alerts on our website. Voces de la Frontera, Unión de Trabajadores Inmigrantes, and the Workers' Rights Center were among the groups active with WNPJ to support immigrants' rights issues. Calling for a halt to family separation, Nan Cheney and the Raging Grannies joined one of the May Day parades in Madison. WNPJ participates and endorses many special events across the state. One example is Lanterns for Peace, held in August each year, commemorating the nuclear bombs dropped on Japan in 1945. The event is held in communities around the state like Dodgeville, Milwaukee, Stevens Point, and Madison. Physicians for Social Responsibility has continued that event even last August during the pandemic, with Lanterns for Peace floating at Tenney Park in Madison. WNPJ is the umbrella, but the real work is done by our member groups like Nuke Watch and Rainbow Bookstore. So many WNPJ members and groups show up for events. Barbara Smith works with, on the left here, works with labor groups, and she's shown here talking with David Giffey, a member of Veterans for Peace, Chapter 25. The Solidarity Singers brought creative lyrics and songs to the Act 10 protests. And here on the right is Judy Miner, former WNPJ director and current volunteer, shown here with Kathy Kelly of the member group Voices for Creative Nonviolence. Down on the right here, Harry, Steve, and another Steve read the words of those killed in Afghanistan in the WNPJ statewide campaign to bring our war dollars home. Janet Parker of the Farley Center is showing peace wreaths made by volunteers, a fundraiser for WNPJ sold at the Fair Trade Holiday Fair each year. And we hope that we can bring that back. And the Forward Marching Band can be found bringing attention to events or parades for justice and peace, and they are just awesome. Here's Julie Enslow and George Martin, who once led the, Peace Action Wisconsin. And on the right here is a letter writing campaign held at the Madison Friends Meeting House. And that's me a lot of years ago, and Jane. WNPJ member groups collaborate on WNPJ projects as well. It's not all just individual groups. So Safe Skies Clean Water Wisconsin, opposing the F-35 fighter jets coming to Wisconsin, engaged a lot of different groups. Building Unity, you see in the middle, you see the Unity Mobile or Vote Mobile, depending on where it's called. And they work to get the vote out around the state, and currently is promoting a Just Wisconsin budget. And over on the right, a racial justice team works with Black Lives Matter to oppose funding for jails and prisons. WNPJ is made up of individual members too. Mary Beth Slogheck and Lance Green are both 30-year members. John Peck, we've just heard from, a current board member, has been active with WNPJ for over 20 years. And this group of peacemakers below are getting awards from WNPJ at one of our assemblies in Racine. Our network has been led by bold and courageous board members, all committed to making connections between people and issues and to fulfill our mission to advance a sustainable world free from violence and injustice by connecting member groups and serving as a catalyst for community organizing and education. Current board members include Jerry Folk, Deborah Gillespie, Mary Kay Baum, Tim Corden, Tynetta Jackson, and Charles Uphoff. We are always looking for more board members to keep us moving forward. We have staff members too. In the photo at the very right is Z, former outreach staff and part of member group Groundwork, which led several board retreats on anti-racism and diversity trainings. We don't have slides of other staff people who are here tonight, or former staff. In the fall, WNPJ holds an annual assembly for all members to come together and to honor the work of our members. And in the spring, like this weekend, these are all the different places that we've had board meetings, including, excuse me. All right. We've had meetings hosted by Artha near Custer, Wisconsin, the Oneida Chuniqua Farm in Northeast Wisconsin. I hope I didn't mess that one up. Echo Valley Hope in Western Wisconsin, and the Juneau County Peace Committee in Southwest Wisconsin. So this year we're having a virtual meeting, but normally WNPJ Board Steering Committee and Fall Assembly meetings are held in all parts of the state and include presentations and awards along with networking and planning. A decade ago, Alfred Meyer was chair of WNPJ. Alfred shared earlier about Physicians for Social Responsibility. WNPJ is celebrating 30 years tonight. And let's put this in perspective. One of our member groups, the Madison branch of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, will celebrate their 100th anniversary of their founding next year in 2022. Tonight, we'd like to welcome Sarah Hinckley as our new network coordinator. Sarah comes to us with a broad range of experience in organizing, including racial justice work. You can connect with her by emailing or leaving a voicemail for WNPJ. Our contact information is at the bottom of our website. On our website at WNPJ.org, you will find action alerts, events, and news submitted by our members, and lots of resources and other information. You can also find a list of member organizations. You can sign up to receive weekly action alerts, and you can join or donate. WNPJ provides opportunities and events to connect you with a broader network of activists working on overlapping issues. As a member, we post your news, events, and action alerts on the WNPJ website and in our weekly email alerts. WNPJ can co-sponsor your events and help publicize. We include your articles in our twice-yearly newsletter. You can display at the WNPJ table at the Dane County Farmers Market. We provide opportunities to connect you with other activists. I already said that. You can help guide the work of WNPJ at our assemblies by serving on a committee or taking a leadership role in joining the board of directors. And you support our capacity to bring people together to create a peaceful, just, and sustainable world. Forward we go together. Tomorrow we do have our annual steering committee meeting to plan for the future. We have like a lot of people registered, but if you're not one of them and you want to come, you can still register. There's a link on the calendar of our website. And we would love to have your input helping us figure out how WNPJ can best serve the cause moving forward.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give her a hand for all her hard work. Thank you. And now I do not know if people have came in that wasn't on earlier that would like to make a comment before we end the night. We got 5 minutes. I think we did pretty good with maintaining and sticking to our time. So if you still have time right now to donate again, please donate. And while I'm just letting everyone know they can donate, Vicki can play a video while we're donating. And thank you, Shell. And I think Tim had a comment, and if anyone else have a comment, you can just let me know. And then you can also donate at this time. And Tim, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Tynetta. I know that Skip Jones up north made a special point to give us a greeting and a song. And if we could listen to Skip Jones's song before we go or before we conclude for the night, that would be great.
I was going to play that next, and then a wonderful song from the Raging Grannies that you haven't heard yet. So we're going to do a real short one from Skip Jones, and then a longer one, slightly longer one. But Skip is great.
This is Martina. I just want to invite everybody to join the Solidarity Sing-Along on June 21st under the Solidarity tree. That's the big oak tree down by the State Street corner where we usually have been meeting. But we will be meeting in person on the Capitol lawn on June 21st.
Thank you, Martina. All right, I'm going to play this video.
Hi, Skip Jones here. I'm currently sitting on the banks of the Red River that starts up in Anago, Wisconsin, and flows down to the Wolf and down to Lake Michigan and out to the sea via the St. Lawrence River. And I've lived on this watershed almost all of my 77 years. And it's an issue of justice for me, and we find peace when everybody has good, safe water to drink. I want to thank the Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice for the work they've been doing over the last 30 years and celebrate with them. Tim had asked me if I'd come in and say something, so there it is. I've said it. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. We sure got a lot more of it to do. Have a great day. Hi, Skip Jones here. I'm currently sitting on I'm a 14-year veteran of the United States Navy, and I spent some time working with our fellow veterans. We lose 20 of them a day to suicide. And I think all the vets I've met who never really were able to come home, and this song reminds me of a lot of them that I know. Cody sang for me, song about the great Montana sky. Cody sang for me, I could see Montana in his eyes, and I could see Montana in his eyes. Cody's hair was long, dirty as the rivers of LA, and Cody's mind was gone. You never know just what he's going to say. Never knew just what he's going to say. See him fall out on the road. Now won't you go and help him on his way? See him fall out on the road, the forgotten son of some old yesterday. And Cody starts to tell how he led the wagons to the sea. Cody starts to yell, raised his gnarled hand to follow me. Oh, he raised his gnarled hand to follow me. He's been living for so long, and Cody's begging, please take me away. He's been living for so long, the forgotten son of some old yesterday. And Cody starts to sing, song about the great Montana sky. And Cody starts to sing, I can see Montana in his eyes. I can see Montana. I can see Montana. I could see Montana in his eyes. Sung by John Stewart called Cody.
That was a powerful song. I think all of us enjoyed that.
Ready for the Raging Grannies again? Bonnie, did you want to say anything?
No, just enjoy.
Okay.
And be sure that, it's a fundraiser. If you want to give money, that would be good.
Or if you want to tell all your friends to give money, that would even be better. Here we go.
Do you hear Wisconsin sing? This is the message that she sends. We are a people waking up, and we will not be fooled again. We heard promises of wealth, good paying jobs were going to come. Corporate suits are doing great while the farms succumb. Will you join in our campaign? Who will speak out and stand with me? Our mission is so clear, we need to save democracy. So join in the fight to ensure that our country stays free. Do you hear the nation sing? This is a message that she sends. We are a people waking up, and we will not be fooled again. He said he would drain the swamp, he hired crocodiles instead. Ethics are drowning in the muck, competence is dead. We will work for our ideals despite the pressure to retreat. Knowing that the threat is real, we will not lie down in defeat. Our message will echo in chambers and out in the street. Do you hear the nation sing? This is the message that she sends. We are a people waking up, and we will not be fooled again. We have a nation to protect. We want corruption washed away. A president we can respect from the very first day. Our country's soul is on the line. We can't leave any task undone. Grannies are ready for this fight. We have just begun. Grannies are ready for this fight. We have just begun.
That was beautiful. Tynetta, do you mind if I jump in here a moment?
Go ahead, sure. Thank you. I'm gonna say my goodbyes and thank you for allowing me to be a part of the program tonight. I am done, and thank you. And thank you everyone that came on tonight and shared your talents, gifts, and what you're doing in our communities.
Well, please stick around if you can, Tynetta, but if you gotta go, you gotta go. But it's so good to be with you. I just wanted to say, we've heard from most of the board members tonight, but there's a couple board members I'd like to just point out that have been doing yeoman's duty. First one is Charlie, who serves as our treasurer. We've had a lot of financial struggles, and Charlie's put in a lot of his own blood, sweat, and money. Charlie purchased the Unity Mobile, and that's done a lot to really connect us to people. That Unity Mobile has a lot of power. So I want to just recognize Charlie Uphoff. And last but not least, Ms. Mary Kay Baum. You just cannot imagine a lot of the things that Mary Kay does behind the scenes. As a lawyer, she helps keep us legal. As our secretary, she keeps us organized, and she's also an activist organizer and has I don't know how many year history and connections to the community, but we get connected to people like Larry Long, for example. And on that note, maybe we could go out with one more hearing of Larry Long, or Mary Kay, would you like to say a word or two?
I would much prefer hearing Larry's song again. It was so much to absorb the first time, and I just want to hear that again.
Thank you for bringing Larry Long to us. I know you are old friends with Larry, and it's no small thing that he's blessing this event with all those wonderful performers. Before we hear Larry Long, I just want to say that I'll stick around and visit a little bit. This collection of human beings is, to me, a sacred and historic night. This is 30 years, and so if people want to stick around and say hey a little bit, Vicki, you can make me host. I'm just honored to be here with all of you great peacemakers and justice champions. So, but if you need to go, you can check out, and let's get together in the next 30 years, but more in between, in person. And without further ado, Vicki, please.
Well, I was wondering actually if people wanted to hear a few different things that we had on before we replay Larry's song. We have a tribute to Ann Feeney, who passed away recently, singing Solidarity Forever at the Uprising, and it's a little tribute on Democracy Now! It's short. We have Peter and Lou Berryman singing No F-35s, and we have a dance video that 350 Madison put together, interspersed with the Enbridge.
We all had each other that this is going to be funny. And then
so what do people think? We have another song called The Whiskey Farm, from the Whiskey Farm, called The Day the Tractors Came to Town, about bringing his child to the 2111 uprising and watching the family farm defenders. So I don't know if people want to hear some of those.
I think that we should be respectful of people's time. If you want to go off, you can go ahead and sign off. And if people that want to stay on can stay on, but I think we should be respectful of people's time and excuse them if they want to go off. But if you want to stay on, I would stay on, but I don't know. We just want to be respectful of people's time. And I know that Jennifer said that she couldn't stay on, and maybe some others. So if you want to sign off, go ahead, and we understand and respect that. And those who want to stay on, stay on.
I'd love to hear Ann Feeney.
Ann Feeney, okay.
I'd love to hear them all.
Yeah, go right.
All right, well.
Start with the ones that we didn't know you had in mind.
Okay. Let's do this one here.
Speaking of legendary figures, as we wrap up, John, I wanted to ask you about, speaking of legendary figures.
That's Amy talking to John Peck.
Wait, you can see her already? I didn't share.
No, we can't see it. We can't.
Here we go.
As we wrap up, John, I wanted to ask you about Ann Feeney, the legendary Pittsburgh folk singer, songwriter, self-described rabble-rouser, who's died of COVID-19 at age 69, surrounded by family and friends. John, you've written about her. You knew her in a piece titled "The Wisconsin Uprising Was Glorious," and Ann Feeney sang its Solidarity song. This is a clip of her singing. What we are listening to and watching is Ann Feeney singing in the Wisconsin State Capitol building during the Wisconsin Uprising 10 years ago. John, we just have about 30 seconds. If you could talk about the significance of Ann Feeney's life, music, and art.
I think it was summed up in that clip. The Wisconsin Uprising began 10 years ago today on February 11th, 2011. You were there for much of it, Amy. And Ann Feeney, who was the great passionate labor songwriter, came as quickly as she could to be there at the Capitol and to lead the crowds in singing what really was the theme song of that uprising, Solidarity Forever. She was a remarkable figure and said that her favorite place to sing was on a picket line. And I'll just remind you that two great figures from the Wisconsin uprising, Ann Feeney and Karen Lewis, the head of the Chicago Teachers Union, both passed away in the last few days. And we remember them because the Wisconsin uprising saw so much brilliant solidarity. And I think both Ann and Karen were embodiments of that.
So the protest repeats down the neighborhood streets from the dark of our uneasy dreams. And from babies and birds, though they don't know the words, and from fish in their unhealthy streams. No F-35, disturbing the peace every day. And what is it for but igniting a war that'll blow all our hinders away?
In a desert somewhere, they could locate them there if they really did need such a plane. But bedding them down on the poor side of town in a busy big city's insane.
No F-35, disturbing the peace every day. And what is it for but igniting a war that'll blow all our hinders away? When folks do their best to attempt to suggest they're no louder than wind in the trees, you can say, yes, I know, 'cause I'm Marilyn Monroe, and the moon's made of Limburger cheese. No F-35, disturbing the peace every day. And what is it for but igniting a war that'll blow all our hinders away?
How the shoreline will shake when they crash in the lake, which I promise will happen someday. And you'll go tell your mom there's a nuclear bomb at the bottom of Brittingham Bay.
No F-35, and what is it for but igniting a war that'll blow all our hinders away? They can fly very fast, but on one tank of gas. From here there's not much to attack, for the range is so short. I am here to report they can't fly to New York and fly back. No F-35, disturbing the peace every day. And what is it for but igniting a war that'll blow all our hinders away?
The thing was designed and the contract was signed. Now we're 58 billion in debt, and it's gonna get worse. So hang on to your purse, for it's 100 million per jet.
No F-35, disturbing the peace every day. And what is it for but igniting a war that'll blow all our hinders away? They're called fighters, it's true, but it's bombing they do, and one bomb can take millions of lives. So you may disagree, but according to me, discontinue the F-35s. No igniting a war that'll blow all our hinders away.
This is an open letter from you and me together. Tomorrow's in our hands now.
Find the words that matter, say them out loud, and make it better somehow.
Looking down from up on the moon, it's a tiny blue marble. Who'd have thought the ground would stand on?
Could be so fragile.
This is a love song to the earth. You're no ordinary world, a diamond in the universe. Heaven's poetry to us. Keep it higher, keep it higher, keep it higher. 'Cause it's our world. It's not about possessions, money or religion. How many years of my live?
When the only real question that matters is still a matter of perspective. Looking down from up on the moon, you're a tiny blue marble.
Who'd have thought the ground we stand on
Could be so fragile. This is a love song to the earth. You're no ordinary world.
diamond in the universe. Heaven's poetry to us. Keep it safe, keep it safe, keep it safe, keep it safe.
Keep my words safe.
It's our world.
Bang, 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 bang. Tell my words is in a crazy mess. It's time for us to do our best. From deep sea straight back to Everest. She under the stress unless you wanna be motherless. Green heart is the way I dress. Speediness and too much greediness. 6 billion people all want plentiness. Some people think this is harmless, but if we continue, they'll only be emptiness.
No, 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 no. This is a love song to the earth. You're no ordinary world, a diamond in the universe. Heaven's poetry to us. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it safe.
Special paradise.
Let's keep it safe. This is a love song to the earth. You're no ordinary world, a diamond in the universe. Heaven's poetry to us. Keep it safe. Keep it It's our world.
It's our
world. 'Cause it's our world.
We are asking folks to come and take a stand with us. The drill pad of the Line 3 tar sands pipeline is right next to the Mississippi River. It's imminent.
Come stand with your people. Come stand for your water. Stand for future generations.
We need your help.
Woke
put you in the car and drove as fast as I could. Downtown the crowd was growing, you could hardly even move. But everybody stepped aside, let the farmers through. And now who'll get up on my shoulders, take a good long look around. And I hope you will remember the day the tractors came to town. Firemen are marching, there are bagpipes in the air. The nurses and the teachers are filling up the square. They're fighting for your future, to protect what you deserve. And one day when you're older, you can find your way to serve. Now baby, get up on my shoulders, take a good long look around. And I hope you will remember the day the tractors came to town. And tell me, what is the sound of freedom? It's the voices in this crowd. People ask you where you come from, you can stand up and be proud. Say, well, I was born in Madison, it's a friendly little town. Unless you try to take our rights, then we will take you down. Cause we know what we stand for, and we know what's right and wrong. And if you govern us with greed, then you won't last too long. Oh baby, get up on my shoulders, take a good long look around. I hope you will remember the day the tractors came to town.
Follow the money to see why we go off to war. Follow the money, it's not freedom we're fighting for. Follow the money, profits aren't worth dying for. Lockheed Martin's got their billions, and they don't need more. Boeing and Raytheon, Bechtel and Koch brothers too. Reap all the profits and don't give a fig about you. Families are hungry, schools don't have funds that they need. Weapon makers turn a blind eye while the country bleeds. Follow the money, it all leads to corporate greed. The vets and the homeless, when will they get what they need? Big money interests dictate our nation's war plans. Now's the time to take back our country and give folks a helping hand. People, not profits, let's make our government see. War steals our treasure, killing voice get loud and louder, singing out for peace.
Ninga ishechike nebe onje. Ninga ishechike nebe onje.
This is the same water that was here when dinosaurs were here. There is no new water. This is the only water we will ever know. This is the same water that my great ancestors drank from and harvested our wild rice upon.
On this land where we belong, surrounded by the northern lights. On this land where we belong, beneath the starlit night.
On this land where we belong, wild Monoman grows. Our blood runs red through the watershed of Milwaukee.
On this land where we belong, rivers, lakes, and streams flow through the heartland of the sacred Mississippi.
This water is sacred. Water is sacred because without water, there is no life. You cannot drink oil.
On this land in which we belong, from the Canadian tar sand, 1 million barrels of oil in the day to come through these sacred lands. On this land to which we belong, with oil thicker than crude, 4,000 workers coming our way, got them pandemic pipeline blues.
This moment is that moment where we face that oil. This is the moment where we face line 3 and say, no, you will not take our water.
On this land in which we belong, with pipelines that corrode, when they break, it'll be too late. It'll kill this river road. On this land where we belong, don't let that pipeline through. No more drill pads on native land. No more pipeline blues. No more drill pads on public land. No more pipeline blues. No more drill pads on sacred land. No more pipeline blues. No more. Don't let line 3 come through.
You are a story fed by generations. You carry songs of grief, triumph, thankfulness, and joy. Feel their power as they ascend within you. As you walk, run swiftly, even fly into infinite possibility. Let go that which burdens you. Let go any acts of unkindness or brutality. Let go that which has burdened your family, your community, your nation, or disturbed your soul. Let go one breath into another. Pray thankfulness for this earth we are, for this becoming we are, for this sunlight touching skin we are, for the cooling waters we are. Listen now as earth sheds her skin. Listen as the generations move one against the other to make power. We are bringing in a new story. We will be accompanied by ancient and new songs, and will celebrate together.
Nebe gizage igu. Gimi guachawainamigu. Gijawainamigu. Nebe gizage igu. Gimi guachawainamigu. Gishawenemigo.
That was beautiful, huh? Thank you, Mary Kay, for encouraging that.
Ninga Ishechike Nebe Onche.
Can I just say I wrote this down
I'm
from
having
Helen
some
Muir.
internet instability. It's been a beautiful